Oh, that story looks good. Let me click that link. What? Locked? Pay site? Why do they link stories that I can't see? I'm not paying for that.
All of your online news at your fingertips is free on QuincyJournal.com. Quincy Journal also has a mobile site that fits your smartphone perfectly. And have you taken a peek at QJTV, QND Lady Raiders, Quincy High Blue Devils, QND Raiders games and more, live on QJTV. For the latest in politics, community news, and more, free every day, it's QuincyJournal.com.
Our countdown to tip-off continues on WTAD, joined now by Eric Orn, the head coach of the fabulously successful Lady Raider program. Coach, we emphasize the success in the postseason because it's been 3 undefeated postseasons back-to-back for your program, for the individual teams, and really you're embarking on history. You're a numbers guy. You might not want to talk about it with the girls in the locker room, but it's what the fans are talking about right now, that chance to run for 4 that nobody's ever accomplished before.
Well, obviously, history is coming into effect of this postseason, but our girls are doing a good job with our 3 returning starting seniors. They're doing a good job. They know we have to take it one game at a time, and tonight we got to face a good Jacksonville team who has the good Keene girl in the post and the Kaufman girl who had 24 points last night. So we got our hands full. They played us the first round last year, so they know a little bit about our press. It's not going to surprise them a little bit, but we got to come out and establish ourselves defensively from the get-go.
And you're down one of your top 8 with the injury to Keating. How do you make an adjustment?
Well, Hannah Marcola did a nice job stepping in against Rochester in the season finale. We have a lot of confidence in her. She was our first post player off the bench, so she knows what she has to do. Missing Quina, we still don't know for how long yet, but it's going to be a little bit tougher, and we need some other role people to step up, and hopefully we have that. People like QND McGee are going to have to play some key minutes.
You played a lot of good teams in your route to the last 3 championships, but the good teams are coming early this season. This is a loaded Springfield regional, so nothing can be taken for granted here.
It can't, and realistically last summer when I saw that Springfield had dropped from 3A to 4A, I knew they would figure in. What's unfortunate about this with the IHSA, they do a great job of giving everybody 4 classes, but I just kind of wish they would see the sectional. And what that doesn't do is that puts us in a very extremely possibly tough game Friday night against a team that's had 1 loss.
And you look beyond that, which coaches are loath to do, but this whole sectional is really kind of a powerhouse right now in the state.
It is. You play Springfield at Springfield possibly. You can play U-High at U-High. And then you get somebody that's always good out the south. So it's 3A basketball. We know it's going to be tough. We just, again, have to focus at one game at a time. If we're successful tonight, we got to go in and get a good game plan in for tomorrow and go from there.
All right, we have a tradition in the postseason. I wrap up each interview with Coach Orn by asking him the same question. The Raiders win tonight if
we come out and really establish our press, have a good half-court set, and really I think a key in this whole entire regional is rebounding. You can't give teams second chances. If we get out and establish ourselves with our style that we like to, I think we'll relax first. I think that's always a key.
Pat Riley said no rebounds, no rings, and it worked out for him. Coach, good luck tonight as you start this postseason run.
Hey, thanks a lot, Sean.
We'll have more from Coach Orn coming up in the postgame show. Now we continue our countdown to tip-off on WTAD.
Design, build, and transport products for the future right here at John Wood Community College. John Wood provides the training you need to get the good-paying job you want. Employers are looking for highly skilled technical workers in manufacturing, electrical, construction, computer-aided design, truck driver training. Getting started is easier than you think. Call John Wood today or go online at jwcc.edu. John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
As a parent, I would recommend John Wood. There's a big misconception that you don't get the college experience until you actually go away to a school. Both of my daughters have thrived at John Wood. John Wood instructors and staff take a real serious interest. All of her classes transferred, no problem. John Wood gave both my kids a great start, a no-brainer for us. My name is Doug Porter, and I'm the proud father of 2 daughters who attended John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
Design, build, and transport products for the future right here at John Wood Community College. John Wood provides the training you need to get the good-paying job you want. Employers are looking for highly skilled technical workers in manufacturing, electrical, construction, computer-aided design, truck driver training. Getting started is easier than you think. Call John Wood today or go online at jwcc.edu. John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
The number 5 seed. The Raiders have conceded the tip by putting Foley in there to jump it up against Keene, but the Lady Raiders pick it up on the bounce. They'll move left to right here in the first half. With the extra early start, we'll meet the starters as we go along here this evening. Lady Raiders take the jumper out of the right corner. It's good. The first look by Obert, and the Lady Raiders break on top. 2-0. It'll be Gedenbacher, who joined the 1,000-point club at the end of the season. Obert, Hugenberg, Foley, and Marcola getting the start for the injured Keating. 3 from the outside, good by Kaufman. Kaufman had 22 last night to lead Jacksonville to their upset win over Lamphere, and she'll be one of the 2 young Lady Crimsons that the Raiders keep their eye on here this evening. The other will be Keene. She had a double-double with 15 and 13. 3 from the outside is no good by Hugenberg, and the Raiders pick up the rebound. Take it around the perimeter. Gedenbacher thinks about 3 from the left corner. Raiders around the perimeter to Foley on the right side. Now into the corner, Hugenberg. Skip pass to Marcola. To the low post, up and under. Gedenbacher kicks it out. Baseline jump shot, good for Hugenberg. Hugenberg's got 2 to start things off, and the Raiders are back on top 4-3. We're just 1 minute into this regional semifinal. The Lady Raiders, famous for their ball press, put it on after the make, and Hugenberg at the point helps get a tied-up ball. Now the official from the center line is going to come in, confer with the baseline official, and award the timeout to Jacksonville. Jacksonville gets the timeout. They're head coached by Jeanette Barlow. Jacksonville comes into this one 12 and 17. They struggled at times in the Central State 8 this season, and it's 2 Central State 8 teams that will play the other regional semifinal after we're completed here. Number 2 seed Springfield, a top 10 3A program in the state of Illinois, and number 3 seed Sacred Heart Griffin. They'll be the 8 o'clock game following us here at the home of the Springfield Senators. 6:45 to go, first quarter. Raiders in their home whites with the blue and gold piping down the sides, the blue and gold trimmed letters, and the ball press stays on out of the timeout. Keene comes into the front court for Jacksonville. Pate, James, Kaufman, Strube, and Keene, the 5 starters. Down the lane goes Keene. She bobbles the ball. It's knocked out by the Raiders. Good, quick hands by Hugenberg as she made sure Keene couldn't score coming down the lane. Raiders are going to have their hands full with Keene. Jalen Keene. She is a 6'2 senior. Sets the pick, rolls to the paint. James makes the layup. James' layup makes it 5-4. Jacksonville on top. Raiders into the front court. Jacksonville switches to a 2-3 zone. Left elbow pass is loose. Raiders fighting for it on the ground, tied up on an alternating possession arrow. This should be Jacksonville basketball. It will be. Jacksonville turns over Notre Dame as Foley got to the left elbow, tried the bounce pass in traffic and couldn't find Gedenbacher on the wing. Jacksonville breaks into the front court with Pate. Pate, 5'6" senior guard, runs it on the far side, picks up the pick from Kaufman. Kaufman rolls into the corner. She had the double-double last night. Down the lane, running layup is blocked on the run by Obert. Out of bounds as Obert couldn't pick it up. It's going to stay with Jacksonville on the left end. Well, these Raider ladies do a great job of getting blocks in the lane. Even the guards, Obert, that's her 12th block of the season. Underneath entry to Keene, won't go. Hit the underside of the backboard. Lady Raiders want to run. 3-on-2, far side wing. Gedenbacher up and under. She stops, no angle, kicks it back outside. Marcola's pass over the top. Foley for 3, that's off. Foley takes a heavy block out from Kaufman, and we're going to have a loose ball out of bounds, far side. Give it to Jacksonville. Keene will make the entry, the 6'2 senior center. She tries to run it underneath to Kaufman. Kaufman back to Keene. They nearly turn it over to the Raiders in the lane in the backcourt. Lady Raiders pick up that ball press full court. Set up a back pick as they try to take the defensive Obert off of Kaufman. Rolling to the near side now. Kaufman looks for help. Far side. Steal by Foley. She's on the run. The ball hits the official. And it is going to be Jacksonville basketball. Before it hit the official, he ruled that Foley had stepped out of bounds on the far side. 5:30 to go, first quarter, 5-4. Jacksonville on top, the number 5 seed. They had an upset over number 4 Lamphere last night. This would be a horse of another color if they knock off Notre Dame here tonight. Keene down the lane. Her running layup won't go, but she's fouled by Marcola and will go to the line. Keene had 15 and 13 in the win last night. She goes to the line for the first time tonight. Let's recap the scoring. Obert and Hugenberg with 2 apiece for the Raiders. James and Kaufman. James with 2, Kaufman with a 3 for Jacksonville. And now Keene makes her first free throw of the night. 6-4, Jacksonville on top. You heard Coach Orn give us his keys to victory for this game. Ball press, pressure, and rebounding. Lady Raiders haven't been able to set up that press too often, and the rebounding hasn't quite kept control of the ball. Keene hits them both. Raiders trail 7-4. Straight away, blocking foul going to be picked up by Pate as she tried to get in front of Obert, and Obert smartly drawing the contact. That's the first foul for Jacksonville. Lady Raiders have been called for 1 foul as well. That was Marcola on Keene to put her on the line. 5:15 to go first quarter. Lady Raiders trailing by 3, 7-4. 3 from the outside, passed up. Now Obert. Obert on the bounce, right wing for Ginnenbacher. Skip pass to Foley. Her set 3 is short. It's an air ball underneath. Raiders have the rebound with Marcola. Her shot short, saved underneath. That rolls right to Hugenberg. Hugenberg's going to be fouled, and if that's on Keene, that's an early foul on the primary force for Jacksonville. They're going to get Keene with the push. And the Raiders pick up a second foul against Jacksonville. Raiders inbound pass. He's tipped away by Jacksonville. Will stay Raiders right in front of the Jacksonville bench. Obert, her ponytail flying over her number 12 on her back. Takes it on the right wing. Around the perimeter to Hugenberg. Baseline entry pass. Ginnenbacher kicks it out to Obert. Straight away Foley. Back around the perimeter. These Lady Raiders will make you chase. Jump shot from the baseline. No good by Ginnenbacher. Rebound down low by Struby. She finds Keene. Keene's double teamed immediately, and she'll now bring it up the floor herself. 6-2, big time setter, and she'll take it up the floor. Penetrating layup by Kaufman is good. She's got 5, and Coach Horn wants a timeout. The Lady Raiders, the number 1 seed, in a bit of trouble early. 4:30 to play first quarter. Raiders trailing 9-4 on WTAD.
Culver Stockton Wildcat basketball is on WTAD. Listen in on February 27th as the Wildcat men's basketball team plays host to the Ravens of Benedictine College. Tip-off is set for 7:30 p.m. The Wildcats are looking to make it back to the NAIA National Tournament for the 2nd straight year. You can hear every second of the action on AM 930 WTAD. Culver Stockton Wildcat basketball takes on Benedictine College February 27th at 7:30 p.m. on AM 930 WTAD.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
Out of the timeout, Raiders get into the front court. Ginnenbacher misses a short shot. It's out of bounds. Last touched by the Raiders, and Keene will trigger it in for Jacksonville. Jacksonville's on a 6-0 run. The Lady Raiders led 4-3. Now it's 9-4 Jacksonville. They're in the road blacks with the white numbers and the red piping. Raiders get a turnover out of their ball press. Down the lane, Foley. Shot won't go. Rebound Hugenberg. She gets pushed. No call. Keene comes away with it. And now we'll have a foul in the backcourt against Notre Dame. Hugenberg is going to give way as Marcola picks up the foul. Into the game is Mackenzie Foley for Notre Dame. For Marcola, the Raiders want to put a little bit more speed on the floor now. Both Foleys with Ginnenbacher. Hugenberg in there as well, and off the turnover on the inbounds play. Short jump shot by Ginnenbacher won't go. Another rebound for Jacksonville. The outlet pass to Pate. Left-handed layup won't go. Lady Raiders try to rebound in front. Ball goes to the floor. Falling on it is Obert. Now Foley wants to run. Down the right side of the paint. She kicks it outside. Elbow jumper quickly by Obert. That's wild and off. Rebound by Hugenberg. She's on the floor. Kicks it back outside. 3 passed up by Foley to the right wing for Foley, and her drive picks up a blocking foul from James. Well, fast and furious action dictated by the Lady Raiders, but their jump shots have been off so far. Lady Raiders have just 2 field goals on a precipitous number of early shots. Backdoor skip pass for Foley. Foley kicks it back to Ginnenbacher, now around to the front. Set shot for three, way off from Foley. That's out of bounds and to Jacksonville. Now the Lady Raiders have seen both Foley's and Hugenberg all miss wildly from distance to start this game. 3.5 to go first quarter, 9-4, Jacksonville on top. Keene back pass over the top, gets to the right elbow, now baseline. Looking to get it back to Keene in the lane. Lady Raiders force him outside to Kaufman. Kaufman, runner, air ball. This is picked up, and the Raiders will have a 2-on-1. Ginnenbacher to the front court, takes it to the rim, gets fouled, will count the bucket and go to the line. Ginnenbacher, the third sister out of her family to join the 1,000-point club this season. Kristen Ginnenbacher on the strike. 412 points now this season. Shoots 65% from the stripe. And she looks for the first of the day, and it goes down. Ginnenbacher gets the roll. The Raiders stop the 6-0 run and make it 9-7. Jacksonville still leading. Out of bounds, far side. Raiders are going to get called for the blocking foul. That'll be the 5th team foul against Notre Dame. 3 minutes to go, first quarter. Lady Raiders very comfortable in the up-tempo game. They'd love to play a game in the 80s every time out if they could manage it. Pate gets it inbounds, now hands it back to James. Over the top to Keene, right elbow. Backs it down, nearly travels, throws it short. Lady Raiders have the rebound with Foley. Mackenzie Foley into the front court. Where's the right knee brace? Has her pocket picked by James. James going to go all the way for the layup. James has 4, and inconsistent ball handling for the Lady Raiders has cost them. Crossover by Ginnenbacher into the lane, doesn't give up the dribble, layup won't go, but she's fouled again. Kristen Ginnenbacher, the latest heir to a family legacy that was started by Carly Ginnenbacher, then picked up by Cassidy, and now Kristen. Kristen's primary game is volleyball. She'll continue her career doing that out at San Diego State. Ginnenbacher's first free throw won't go. 1 of 2 from the stripe, and the Lady Raiders still trail by 4. 11-7, 2:33 to go. First quarter. We're playing at the regional site, Springfield High, the host of the Senators. Second free throw is good for Ginnenbacher. She's got 4, and the deficit is 3 for Notre Dame. Ball pressure after the make. Lady Raiders try to trap. Keene, such a valuable asset for breaking down pressure. 6'2", senior, handles the ball like a guard. And she has been the reason the Lady Raiders haven't had more turnover pressures. Lob entry pass. Raiders pick it off, run down the floor. Ginnenbacher layup is good. That was just a great outlet pass from Foley after the steal to set up Ginnenbacher, and the deficit is now 1. Lady Raiders ball press again. Pate has it along the sideline, dribbles into the center of the floor. On the run, into the corner, finds James. James tries the baseline, gets cut off. Double team. Lady Raiders have the turnover again with Obert. Obert looking down the floor, couldn't get it to Foley. Brings it up left wing now for Mackenzie Foley. Skip pass near side. Foley down to the baseline. Ginnenbacher jumper takes the lead. Ginnenbacher is on a roll. She's got 5 in a row, and the Raiders have the lead 12-11. The Raiders are on their own 5-0 run right now. Reach on the backside by Obert against Kaufman, and the Raiders commit their 6th team foul. So, just 4th team foul. Looking at the wrong side of the scoreboard as it's partially blocked. 4th team foul for Notre Dame. They've got 2 more to give before they'll put Jacksonville in the bonus. Coach Orn talking it over with Obert as she comes to the bench for the first time tonight. The Lady Raiders gone to that bench and come up with a turnover. Olivia Heyer into the game for the first time. And the Raiders go on the skip pass. Backside, Ginnenbacher steps into the lane. Step back now, jump shot good. Well, just keep feeding Ginnenbacher right now. She's hot. You don't get to the 1,000-point club by not knowing how to score. Break down to the far side, and a trip is going to be whistled on Foley as Pate went down hard. Make it James. She'll go to the free throw stripe. The line so far this evening has the Raiders answering the run by Jacksonville. Jacksonville trailed 4-3 and then put up a 6-0 run. The Raiders were down 11-7 and have now gone on a 7-0 run. That run has put them back in front 14-11. First free throw from Kaufman is no good after the foul by Foley. The next, Kaufman steps to the line and just gets it over the front of the rim. She knows how to make free throws. She scored 22 last night. The easy way to get points, get to that line and make them. Lady Raiders down to the low post for Hugenberg. She forces it inside on Keene and draws a foul. That's as good as a bucket for the Raiders, and maybe even better if Hugenberg can go to the line and get two here. You pick up the second foul against Keene, the one real force that Jacksonville can bring to bear that the Raiders will have a hard time accounting for. Put her in foul trouble early with her second with a minute to go in the first quarter, and maybe pick up points as Hugenberg goes to the line. Hugenberg, a 70% free throw shooter this season. The lefty knocks down the first. 15-12 Raiders on top, 1:06 to go. Hugenberg looks for another. She's got 3, maybe 4 after this one. She sidles just a bit off to the right of the basket. The left-hander makes the next. Hugenberg goes 2 for 2 from the stripe. Lady Raiders have their biggest lead, 16-12, and nearly come up with a turnover on the inbounds pass. Far side and bumped on the play is Fenner, the substitute, just in for Jacksonville. As Heyer got a piece of her. Raiders, they've gone to the bench again for Humphreys. So it'll be Humphreys, Heyer, Hugenberg, Ginnenbacher, and Foley on the floor for Notre Dame. 1 minute to go. Straight away for Pate for Jacksonville between the circles. There hasn't been much of a half-court set to this game for either team. Humphreys really harassing Pate at the top of the arc. Looks to the weak side for Kaufman. She drives toward the rim, lays it off the glass, and good. Kaufman's got a very smooth finish. She's got 8 on the night, and the Raiders are down, or rather just up 2. Their lead has dwindled from 4 to 2. Up and under reverse, won't go for Heyer, and the Raiders have to backtrack quickly. Backdoor, weak side, layup is up and just off the rim from Fenner, and now a foul. Raiders going to go to the free throw line for a 1-and-1 with Ginnenbacher as the reach by Struby caught her in the backcourt. 26.7 to go, first quarter. This one has kind of unwound slowly. Ginnenbacher's first is good. Well, she used all the rim and some of the backboard to get it to go. The leading scorer in this game, she has 11 of the Raiders' 17 here in the first quarter. Ginnenbacher looks for the next, and it's good. A dozen in the first quarter. The Raider lead is 18-14, and Humphreys picks up a blocking foul on the far side. Quick whistle from this officiating crew. They have not allowed any contact. Well, you think that would be the order of the day. The Central State 8 tends to be a very physical conference, and with 3 of the 4 teams remaining in this regional and 4 of the 5 teams assigned to this regional out of the Central State 8, you'd expect a little bit more physical bent to the play. Front end of the 1-and-1 is no good for Kaufman. Raiders have the rebound, want to run. Heyer into the front court, gets turned back. Ginnenbacher skip past Foley. Mackenzie Foley in the lane, 10-footer, not going to go. Hugenberg tries for the rebound. That's no good. Pulled down by Bateman of Jacksonville. 9 seconds, now 8, now 7. Far side setting up the pick for Kaufman. Kaufman to the baseline. She's looking for the foul and just leans in with the shoulder and gets called for the player control foul. Great job that time by Heyer to stay with her. She got help from Mackenzie Foley. And those young ladies do a great job of drawing the foul on Kaufman. It'll be her first. Raiders, 3.5 seconds. Let's see if they can make something out of it. Hugenberg to midcourt. Far side, ball dribbles out of bounds, and it'll be the end of the first quarter as Hugenberg trying to set up Ginnenbacher on the flyby far side. After 8 minutes, the Lady Raiders started slowly, but got things going. They lead 18-14 over Jacksonville. You're listening to the 3A postseason on WTAD.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
stat to know from the first quarter as we begin the second quarter. Lady Raiders 6 of 7 from the free throw stripe. They started slowly but started getting to the line and knocking them down. 3 from outside is no good by Ginnenbacher. Her first 3 attempt of the night, but the Lady Raiders have the rebound. Outside to Mackenzie Foley. Now right wing for her older sister. Foley to Ginnenbacher. Back to Foley. Foley going to go down the lane, looking to draw a third foul from Keene, but her pass to the wing mishandled by Heyer, and it's going to be Jacksonville basketball. Lady Raiders are going to go to the bench again and bring in Sarah Arnold. Arnold makes her first appearance in the game tonight. Lady Raiders steal in the backcourt. It's come up with Hugenberg, and Hugenberg going to just be called for the travel here as it goes back to Jacksonville. Hugenberg on the inbounds pass. Jacksonville having trouble getting it in. Get it to Keene. Come back over the top to James. James going to wait for help in the backcourt. Lady Raiders pressuring the ball all over the floor. 7:20 to go. First half. Keene top of the elbow right. And she dumps it down, but not before she's fouled. The whistles have been so quick here this evening that it's really impeded the flow of this game. We'll see which team adjusts first and can start dictating the run of play. Keene goes to the stripe. She's 2 of 2 from there, but doesn't have a field goal yet. Her first free throw is good. Now 3 of 3 as Jacksonville scores first here in the second quarter. Raider lead cut to 18-15 with another free throw to come for Keene. Keene, the 6'2 senior center. She had 15 and 13 in their win over Lamphere last night. Second free throw, no good. Lady Raiders have the rebound into the front court. It's Arnold just into the game, gets to Foley. Now Foley on the right wing. 2-3 zone from Jacksonville. Arnold straight away, Foley right side. Skip pass over the top to Arnold. Now to Foley. Foley between the circles. Arnold left side, sets for a 3. It's just rims out, and Keene has the rebound on the inside for Jacksonville. Keene brings it up the floor herself. Gets to the free throw line. Right corner for Pate. Now gives it to Hoffman. Hoffman into the lane. Her 12-foot runner won't go. Wild rebound. Hoffman gets her own. Hoffman has it knocked away from her. Saved by Foley, but she steps on the baseline. And it'll be Jacksonville baseball. Rather basketball. Yes, I'd like winter to be over and baseball season to be here, but I don't think Mother Nature is going to accommodate me anytime soon. Though today was a nice reprieve. Into the lane off the inbounds for Keene. Her turnaround half look won't go, and she commits a third foul here in the first half. She went right over the back of Hugenberg and got herself frustrated and now in trouble. Keene's going to have to go to the bench with 3 fouls and 6:36 to play in the first half, with Notre Dame on top of Jacksonville, 18-15. Let's see how this changes the game. Not that Jacksonville doesn't have other good posts to bring into this game. We've already seen them use Bateman, and now Hillis, the 5'8 sophomore, is going to come into the game. But rare is the weapon that's as versatile and potent as Keene. Free throw by Hugenberg is good. She's 3 of 3 with another to come. Raiders taking advantage from the free throw line. Oh, Hugenberg gets her own miss, lays it up, won't go down the lane, but the Raiders have another rebound. Raiders trying to turn this into a multi-point possession. Out of bounds, last tip by Jacksonville. Ginnenbacher the trigger. She gets it into Foley. Foley on the right side. That's Cassidy Foley. She's in there with Mackenzie Foley, the younger sister. Mackenzie Foley dribbles it into the teeth of this 2-3 zone. Now to the baseline. Front of the rim for Hugenberg. Lays it up and in. Great pass by Ginnenbacher. And what great awareness by Hugenberg to keep the ball above her head against the smaller guards that had rotated down. Now the ball pressure. Out of bounds. Far side. Last touch by Jacksonville. Raiders have another turnover. You start to feel the inevitable pressure of the Raider ball press picking up steam and starting to get into Jacksonville's mind. Straight away for Foley. Comes right side for Arnold. Arnold's pass is stolen by Pate. Pate wants to roll into the front court. Gets to the free throw line. Nobody stops her. Bounce pass kicked. Foley kicked it. And the Raiders going to have to set up their man-to-man defense in their own end. 6 minutes to go. First half. Raiders on top 21-15. Thank you to those of us joining us online at QuincyJournal.com. Just click the QJTV tab for a TV broadcast of tonight's game. Thrown away by Jacksonville. Arnold did the great job of not touching it as it was going out of bounds. And the Raiders have the possession back. Timeout called by Jacksonville. 5:51 to go. Raiders on top here in the first half. 21-15. You're listening to the 3A postseason on WTAD.
As a parent, I would recommend John Wood. There's a big misconception that you don't get the college experience until you actually go away to a school. Both of my daughters have thrived at John Wood. John Wood instructors and staff take a real serious interest. All of her classes transferred, no problem. John Wood gave both my kids a great start, a no-brainer for us. My name is Doug Porter, and I'm the proud father of 2 daughters who attended John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
Raider ball out of their timeout. They lead 21-15. Now 5:50 to go. First half. Raiders quickly into the lane. Jump shot from Arnold. No good. Gets her own miss. Ball is loose on the ground as it was kicked. Going the other way is Pate for Jacksonville. She turns back around. Looks for help. Just button hooking on the far side as the Raider defensive pressure has kept her from attacking the lane. Raiders nearly have a turnover out near the center stripe. Foley and Kaufman all tied up on an alternating possession. It's going to go back to Jacksonville. Raiders with Foley, Arnold, Ginnenbacher, and Hugenberg, the 5 on the floor. Raiders get it underneath. They force Jacksonville way out deep. Now Hugenberg gets tied up with Hillis, and that's going to be a foul on Hugenberg. She tripped the offensive threat, Hillis, and that's going to put Hillis on the line. Hugenberg's second foul. Raiders on top, 21-15, 5:20 to go. Hillis at the line for the first time tonight. 5'8" sophomore. They're hoping she'll grow into the role of a forward in Jacksonville. She misses the front end. Ginnenbacher on the run with the rebound. Crossover in the lane, gets to the window. Layup is good. Ginnenbacher's got 14 of 23 for the Raiders. And the lead is 23-15. Ball pressure by Notre Dame. Trap in the corner. Now Hillis has to help out. Brings it into the front court. Pocket pick by Foley. She cruises in and gets hit on the layup attempt. Foley going to go to the stripe after the foul from Kaufman. I believe that's going to be Kaufman's second. She picked up the offensive foul in the first quarter. Foley goes to the line for the Raiders. 65% free throw shooter. Cassidy Foley, part of a 3-sister dynasty that has come through here, much like the Ginnenbachers, the Foleys. Shannon Foley, Cassidy Foley, Mackenzie Foley. They have been sort of teammates with the Ginnenbacher sisters throughout this back-to-back-to-back title run, and even when the largely successful teams before that had their building blocks. First free throw is missed. Now the second is good. And Foley is 1 of 2 from the stripe. The lead is 9, 24-15. Far side for Jacksonville. Pate has it, looks for help. It's stolen from her by Foley, and then Pate comes up high on Foley, and the foul will be called. Foley going back to the stripe. That is the 22nd foul that's been called in this game. And we still have 4:49 to go here in the first half. Notre Dame on top of Jacksonville, 24-15. Winner moves on to the Friday night 7 o'clock championship for the 3A regional title and a right to advance to the normal U sectional. First free throw from Foley is good. Raiders now have their biggest lead of the game at 10, 25-15. Raiders were down in this one 9-4. Second free throw from Foley is good. She's 3 of 4 now from the stripe. Raiders were down 9-4. They have gone on a 22-6 run since that point to take over this game against Jacksonville. Raiders call off the trap in the backcourt. Man-to-man half-court defense. Long three from Kaufman is off the mark. Raiders track down the rebound on the weak side. Foley wants to run. No numbers, though. She'll wait at the three-point arc. Mackenzie Foley gets to the right elbow now. Down the lane is Foley as she goes baseline. Sarah Arnold wants 3. Cocks it, shoots it, can't get it to go. Arnold misses for the second time from distance. And the Raiders have to regroup defensively, leading 26-15. On the drive is Kaufman. She can't get the layup to go. Ginnenbacher going to go one-on-one against James. Her layup won't go, but the blocking foul will put her on the line. What a great start for Kristen Ginnenbacher. She had trouble finding her offensive niche in the loss against Rolling Meadows, but she has been anything but tentative here this evening. Already 4 of 5 from the stripe, and she gets back there for the 4th time. First free throw is good on this trip. She's got 15 here in the first half. Lady Raiders will bring Marcola out, go to the bench, and want to get a few minutes out of Kennedy McGee. McGee takes the left side. Free throw is missed by Ginenbacher. Gets her own and lays it up and in. It won't help her free throw percentage, but the Lady Raiders get 2 points instead of 1 on that shot and lead now 29-15. Only 1 free throw for Jacksonville so far in this quarter, and we're now 4 minutes and 15 seconds into the second quarter. Lady Raider defense has been stifling all over the court. Man-to-man in the half court now. Picking it up is Kaufman. She looks for help, gets James on the far side corner. James drives toward the lane. Her runner is good. She hit that right over Ginenbacher. James has a half dozen, and that cuts off a Raider 11-point run. 29-17. Notre Dame on top. Right post for McGee. It won't go, and the foul on the weak side is going to be whistled against. Is Sarah Arnold going to be called for the push? No, she's going to the line. It's going to be against Kaufman. Oh, that's her third. Third for Kaufman and 3 for Keene. Keene has been sitting for the last 3 minutes in this game, as the game has really had its tenor changed by the fact that Jacksonville doesn't have its 6'2" all Central State 8 post player in there. First free throw won't go for Arnold. Second one rims out as well. Arnold with a tough trip to the line. Steals the rebound, though, from Jacksonville. Layup by Hugenberg, no good. Now she follows it up, and it's McGee who puts it up and in. McGee gets it to go. 31-17 Notre Dame. Timeout Jacksonville. Coach Barlow not happy with what she sees. She wants a full timeout. We'll take it as well. 3:03 to go first half. Notre Dame on top, 31-17 on WTAD.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. The First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
Out of the timeout, Notre Dame up 31-17, 3:03 to go, first half. We're in Jacksonville for the 3A Ladies postseason. It opened last night with a quarterfinal match, and the Lady Raiders got the bye into the semis. Their first game of the postseason, this one against Jacksonville, and they're leading 31-17. Ball slapped out of bounds by Ginenbacher. It'll be entered by Jacksonville. Jacksonville goes far side with Fenner. Fenner into the game for the second time. High post entry. She was trying to hit Thorson, and it's stolen. Raiders into the front court with Obert back in. Left side of the lane, attacked by Ginenbacher. Gets it underneath, and Mackenzie Foley hits it over the inside presence of Thornton. Foley gets her name in lights for the first 2 tonight. 33-17, Notre Dame on top. Now the whistle from the far side. Going to be out of bounds, and we'll stick with Jacksonville on the left end. Lady Raiders moving left to right here in the first half. Let's go over the 5 on the floor for Jacksonville. It is Fenner along with James, Kaufman, Struby, and Thorson. For the Lady Raiders, it is Obert with Foley, Ginenbacher, and McGee. Lady Raiders get the ball back as Jacksonville throws it away on the far side. 2.5 to go, second quarter. McGee going to come out of the game. She gives the Raiders quite a few nice minutes there. The 6'1" senior. They're going to bring Hugenberg back on now for the Raiders. Baseline entry for Ginenbacher. Her up and under is good as she got Thorson to move her feet. Ginenbacher scores again. She's working toward 20 here in the first half. 35-17, Notre Dame rolling now. Just 3 points in this second quarter for Jacksonville as the defense of Ginenbacher, Foley, Obert, Foley, Humphreys, Higher has been just too much. Now a reach. It is going to send Jacksonville to the line. It's going to be Kaufman staying in this game with 3 fouls. Kaufman, the gifted scorer and 5'5" sophomore. Her first free throw is good. Kaufman, she's got 9, looking for 10. Lady Raiders have brought quite a few fans with them to Jacksonville. Raider Nation traveling well. Second free throw by Kaufman is no good. Jacksonville has quite a few on the far side as well, and behind their own bench down to our right. Lady Raiders have it now with Foley. Foley outside to Foley. Foley around the perimeter. Mackenzie Foley working with Cassidy Foley now. She gets into the lane, finds Hugenberg. Her charging layup is good. Well, the left-hander, Hugenberg, if you're not used to playing against lefties, it can be quite the adjustment. Which side you're on, which side you expect them to attack from, how you think you're going to box them out. So Hugenberg has used that to her advantage. She's got 9 in this first half, and the Lady Raider ball pressure has led to some easy points. They'll set up that ball pressure now. Jacksonville gets it into Fenner. Fenner goes down. She's having her pocket pick, and the Lady Raiders get great pressure from Mackenzie Foley to turn Fenner over on the alternate possession arrow. So the Raiders up by 19, 37-18. Minute 20 to go, first half. Far side for Higher back into the game. Obert straight away, now Higher. Lady Raiders haven't set up in the half court much this second quarter. It's had much more of an up and down feel. Front of the rim, McGee gets her own miss, puts it back up. The left-handy can't find the touch. Down to the floor, no whistle. Ball is still loose. Lady Raiders are on top of it, and now the whistle blows. We're all tied up, and it'll be Jacksonville ball on the alternate possession arrow. McGee had a couple of good looks, but the 6'1" senior just couldn't find the touch. Coach Horn will want her to take those shots from inside each and every time. Lady Raiders put the ball pressure back on, trying to slow down Jacksonville here toward the end of the first half. 50 seconds to go. Raiders on top, 37-18. Ball is on the floor again and locked up. And on the alternate possession arrow, it'll go back to the Raiders. This has been anything but a smooth and picturesque first half for the Lady Raiders, who trailed 9-4 at one point, have come back to build a 37-18 lead, and they'll take the performance into halftime. Still 40 seconds to go. Far side Higher into the post for Hugenberg. Underneath, turnaround for Ginenbacher is good. Well, Hugenberg has mastered that high-low post feed. Now the Raiders on the steal. Backside layup. Higher is good. Raiders scoring in back-to-back possessions in just 4 seconds. Raiders 41-18. 20 seconds to go now. On the run, the layup won't go for Kaufman. The rebound by Hillis. On the outside, she gets it into the hands of Fenner. Fenner comes near side for James. James looking for help, throws it away, far corner. Nobody's there. Raider basketball. So 9 seconds, plenty of time for the Raiders to get off a good shot, as they got quick back-to-back buckets from Higher and Ginenbacher to extend this lead 4 more. Into the front court comes Cassidy Foley. Drifts off to the right side. 5 seconds now. Backside open look. Oh, it goes off the foot of Higher. Tied up down low, and it'll be Jacksonville basketball with just 0.2 seconds to go. Coach Horn stalking up and down the bench. No matter what the lead, head coaches always want to see execution from the 5 that they have on the floor. Jacksonville going to get this one in. No chance to even get a shot off. We'll go to the half. Lady Raiders have come back from a 9-3 deficit and built a 41-18 lead here on the road, the home of the Springfield Senators and the host site for this 3A regional. As we go to Raiders at the half, it's Notre Dame 41, Jacksonville 18 on WTAD.
Design, build, and transport products for the future right here at John Wood Community College. John Wood provides the training you need to get the good-paying job you want. Employers are looking for highly skilled technical workers in manufacturing, electrical, construction, computer-aided design, truck driver training. Getting started is easier than you think. Call John Wood today or go online at jwcc.edu. John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
As a parent, I would recommend John Wood. There's a big misconception that you don't get the college experience until you actually go away to a school. Both of my daughters have thrived at John Wood. John Wood instructors and staff take a real serious interest. All of her classes transferred, no problem. John Wood gave both my kids a great start, a no-brainer for us. My name is Doug Porter, and I'm the proud father of two daughters who attended John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
Culver Stockton Wildcat basketball is on WTAD. Listen in on February 27th as the Wildcat men's basketball team plays host to the Ravens of Benedictine College. Tip-off is set for 7:30 p.m. The Wildcats are looking to make it back to the NAIA National Tournament for the second straight year. You can hear every second of the action on AM 930 WTAD. Culver Stockton Wildcat basketball takes on Benedictine College February 27th at 7:30 p.m. on AM 930 WTAD.
It's the second half for the Lady Raiders as they take on the Jacksonville Lady Crimsons on Talk Radio 930, WTAD, and QuincyJournal.com. I'm Sean Secrease. Thanks to the Quincy Journal staff for coming out to video tonight's game. Lady Raiders moving right to left here in the second half, and a turnover as they go down low for Hugenberg to get things started. You know, one thing I love about small gyms is you really get the feeling of the intimate atmosphere. The thing that I don't like, you can smell all the snacks the rest of the crowd has. High post entry for Keene as she's back into the game. Her turnaround won't go. Follows her own miss. Underneath, scores over Hugenberg. And Keene, who was held to 3 points on 3 of 4 from the free throw line in the first half, has her first field goal of the game. Raiders lead 41-20. Left side now for Obert. Obert handles the ball with that little bent-over crouch as she tries to protect it. Into the left corner for Ginnenbacher, down low for Hugenberg. Straight away, Foley around the perimeter. Obert thinks about 3, gets to the baseline, challenges James, and James going to be called for the push. And they get Struby. They're going to get Struby, not James, as they were both collapsing on the far side. 2-3 zone for Jacksonville to start this second half on the Lady Raider inbounds from the left baseline. Straight away, Obert passes it up, gets it to Ginnenbacher. Her 3 is good. That was the only thing missing from the Raider repertoire in the first half. They were 0 for 6 from beyond the arc. Now a steal scored by Hugenberg. Ginenbacher has 24. Hugenberg adds to her total. She has 11. And the Raiders turn in a 5-point end. Curling has been sweeping the nation in these Olympics, and ends are how they do the scoring. Running layup won't go for Kaufman. And the Raiders have the possession and the lead, 46-20. Far side to Foley. Her entry pass to Hugenberg is a layup and good. Make it Marcola on the catch and shove. Hugenberg ran interference in front of Marcola, and Marcola has her first bucket of the night, 48-20. Notre Dame on top. Raiders picking up Pate as they go man-to-man. They're going to put Ginenbacher on Pate to start the second half. Pate was held scoreless in the first half. She drifts off to the right wing, forces it into the corner, now mid-post for Keene. Keene's turnaround is going to go, and they're going to give her the continuation. Fouled on the shot after the left hand scoop and score. Keene goes to the line. She has to dedicate herself to being an offensive threat, Keene, the 6'2 senior center for Jacksonville. She can't let Kaufman carry the scoring because the Raiders will have a hard time answering her inside. Free throw from Keene is good. She makes it a 3-point play, but the Raiders still lead 48-23. Kickball by the defense of Jacksonville, and the Raiders will have it with 6:06 to go, third quarter. Lady Raiders with a win tonight advance to Friday night's regional final. Well, they'll take on the winner of the late game this evening, Springfield High and Sacred Heart Griffin, the 2 and 3 seeds respectively. Raiders taking their time, moving it around the perimeter. Left side, Foley. Her jump shot is no good from beyond the arc. 0 of 2 from beyond the arc now for Cassidy Foley. Raiders trying to put some token pressure on. Alley-oop won't go at the front of the rim, getting her own miss. Throwing it up with the right hand. Kaufman won't go. Raiders 2-on-1. Hugenberg down the lane, takes it in right over Keene, who can't defend. Keene just had to put her hands down and get out of the way. She's more valuable than one possibly challenged shot for Jacksonville. It's another bucket for Hugenberg, and the Raiders are on top 50-23. It's turning into a rout now over number 5 seed Jacksonville. Jacksonville came into this one 12-17, upsetting number 4 Lamphere in last night's quarterfinal, 57-29. To the line after the contact is James of Jacksonville. She had a half dozen in the first half and makes her first free throw of the night. 50-24. 5:30 to go, third quarter. James kicks that left heel and sets herself for the shot. Sarah James, the 5'3 sophomore, makes the second. Whistle blows, and the official on the far side saying he made a mistake blowing the whistle. Count the free throw by James. She has 8. The Raider lead is 25 as they're up 50-25, and it's Raider basketball on the right end. Obert brings it across the timeline. Hugenberg with her on the left. They're looking high post for Marcola. Covered up. Now punch and run by Pate. Pate of Jacksonville waits for help as the defense from Obert stifled her attempt to go down the lane. Pate on the outside swings it around to Kaufman. They're looking inside to try and hit Keene. Keene floating at the high post. She's got 5 already in this third quarter. Now to Keene at the free throw line. Backs it down. Right-handed layup won't go. Rebound Hugenberg. Raiders want to run. Behind the back, Ginenbacher. 3-on-2. Ginenbacher, the leading scorer, to the rim. Shot won't go, but she'll go back to the line. Ginenbacher's got 24 of 50 for the Raiders, and she's at the line. She gets 2 here. She'll have 26 of 52. 50% of the points on the board. Let's see if she can hit these 2 free throws. Her first is good. Ginenbacher wasn't just piling up points in the run of play in the first half. She was 5 of 7 from the free throw stripe. Ginenbacher's next. Good as well. She's got 26 of 52 for Notre Dame. Raiders put on the ball press, nearly come up with a steal. Hugenberg reached in on Keene, no call. Keene into the front court at the free throw line, dishes it right. 3 from James is no good. Rebound underneath Keene. She puts it up and in. 52-27, Raiders lead, 4:30 to go, third quarter. Raiders to the high post for Marcola. Skip pass far side, Ginenbacher. Ginenbacher looks for holes against the 2-3 zone of Jacksonville. Baseline, Hugenberg, layup right around Keene, rolls off the front of the rim, and a chance for Jacksonville to run. Now they'll wait, get it to Keene, far side to Kaufman. 4:10 to go, third quarter. Raiders have been growing their lead. It's 25, 52-27. Three from the outside by Kaufman off the front of the rim. Keene rebound in the lane, put back up, won't go. Nobody blocks out on the weak side, and Kaufman gets the rebound and is going to go to the line. Now you got to block out the 5'5 sophomore who took the shot. Keene goes to the stripe. Rather, Kaufman after Keene had the first look on the rebound. Kaufman was 2 of 4 from the stripe in the first half and hits this free throw. This has been a very choppy game. About 35 fouls have already been called in this game. Second free throw for Kaufman. And she leaves it short. Rebound in the lane picked up by Jacksonville. Spin move and score for James. Raiders had a hard time on that defensive trip, blocking anyone out. And they're going to get McGee back into the game to help thwart that problem. Down low, Hugenberg. Her shot won't go over Keene. Gets her own rebound tied up. And we're going to go with Jacksonville on the alternating possession arrow. Hugenberg just didn't do a lot. She was buried in that low post. Had a good first look, but then when she got the rebound, couldn't make anything out of it. Raiders step up, get the turnover with their ball pressure. Marcola hands it off to Obert. Now to near side, Arnold. Arnold's layup is good. Arnold, her first 2 off the bench tonight. She missed 2 from distance in the first half and 2 from the free throw stripe. Sarah Arnold's night got off to a tough shooting start, but now the steal. Now a steal by Gittenbacher. She's all alone. Stops, left-handed layup. She's got 2 more. It's 28 for Kristen Gittenbacher. 56-28 Notre Dame, or 56-30 rather, after the putback by James. And the Raiders still on top comfortably. Take it away, low post, on the run. Gittenbacher again. Nobody steps up and stops her. Gets to the right side of the rim. Stop, pop, good. Gittenbacher just unstoppable right now by the Jacksonville defense. She's stealing. She's scoring in transition. Getting to the free throw stripe, and now in the second half, hitting threes as well. High post entry for Keene. Turns around and just goes right at McGee. Runner no good from Keene. Back up and under. The bump by McGee, and Keene's going to go to the stripe. Keene 1 of 1 in this second half from the line. 4 of 5 in the game. She was held to just 3 points on 3 of 4 from the free throw stripe in the first half. She sat the final 6.5 minutes of the second quarter with 3 fouls. Their 6'2" senior post presence for Jacksonville. She's picked up her scoring in this third quarter. She's got 7 already and 10 for the game. Keene. First free throw off to the left. No points off the bench yet for Jacksonville. James with 10, Kaufman with 10, Keene with 10. They've got 30 for the night. Next free throw is good from Keene. She leads Jacksonville now with 11. Raiders lead 58-31. Into the front court, Gittenbacher skip pass near side for Arnold. Low post for Marcola. Front of the rim for McGee. The lefty just can't make it off the front of the rim. She's had a tough time with her touch here this evening in a rather dimly lit gym, I must say, here in Springfield. Raiders going to set up their ball press as Jacksonville will have the inbounds after the rebound went out over the baseline. Raiders pull it off to just some token pressure as Pate brings it up on the far side against Gittenbacher. Turntable move by Pate. Wants to set it outside, get help from Kaufman. Gittenbacher going for the steal. Ball is loose sideline. Gittenbacher has it. Gets it to Obert. And now a hold is going to be called on the floor. If that's on Pate, that'll be her 5th. It's going to be on Pate. So Pate fouls out with no points here with 2:14 to go, third quarter. So Pate is out, and for Jacksonville, they're going to make the substitution and bring on Fenner. Fenner was the first guard off the bench in the first half, and she'll come in here for Pate. Raiders on the outside against this 2-3 zone. Travel going to be called on Obert. She was wanting to come to the near side for Arnold, but Arnold vacated the wing to attack the baseline, and Obert had nowhere to go with it. 2 minutes to go, third quarter, 58-31, all Notre Dame. Keene playing with just 3 fouls now. She's been able to manage herself very well for Jacksonville and not pick up a devastating 4th foul thus far in this third quarter. She's contributed 8 points. Now to the low post. Keene again dives in with the left and is fouled by McGee. Keene to the line where she's 2 of 3 in this second half. Coming up on Friday night, it looks like the Lady Raiders will be playing for a regional crown. We'll have it for you. And I'll be joined by Raider Hall of Famer Lori Vogel on the broadcast. It'll be 7 o'clock when the Raiders finish this. And they'll be taking on the winner of Springfield High versus Sacred Heart Griffin. That game coming up at 8 o'clock. First free throw is no good from Keene. We have a doubleheader of basketball tonight on WTAD. After we're through here, we're going to take you out to Big Ten country as Illinois and Minnesota will get it on. Brian Barnhart and crew will have the call here on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. I believe a lane violation was called on the last free throw by Keene. She made the shot, but a lane violation wipes it out. So Keene, no free throws on that 2-shot trip. Raiders on top, 58-31. Far side for Arnold. Outside, back to Obert. Obert, Arnold, right wing. Stops, threatens it. Marcola, turnaround shot blocked with authority by Keene. That was just too much time taken by Marcola to get the shot away. Keene recovered and just blocked it right out of bounds. To the front of the rim, McGee, left-hander. She goes up, gets bumped, and she'll go to the line for 2. Who bumped her is the question. Was it James or was it Keene? They're going to get Keene, and it's going to be her 4th. So Keene, the 6'2 senior center for Jacksonville, now going to try and play the last 9.5 minutes of this game with 4 fouls. Free throw from McGee, no good. Her first trip to the free throw line tonight. The big left-hander with braces on both knees. Looks for her second shot now. Hillis is going to come on for Keene for Jacksonville. Probably try to sit Keene out the last minute 26 of this third quarter, will Coach Barlow. Second free throw off the front of the rim. McGee almost gets her own rebound, now reaches over and fouls, and we're going to go the other way. McGee 0 for 2 from the stripe on that trip, then complicates it with the foul. Raiders on top, 58-31 on WTAD and online at QuincyJournal.com. Just surf over on your smartphone, your tablet, your iPad, whatever you have. QuincyJournal.com. Click the QJTV tab, and you're ready for tonight's broadcast. 3 from the outside, faked by Kaufman. She drives it to the right side of the rim. Layup no good. Rebound picked up by the Raiders. Gittenbacher wants to run. Why not? She's been hot. Weak side. It's Humphreys. It's good from 3 feet. Humphreys undersized at just 5 feet, but she has great court awareness. Her spacing was excellent on the weak side. And now the official blows the whistle here. And we've got no explanation. Was that on? We've got some blood on the hand of. No. Somebody. Gittenbacher has come out. The baseline official was not happy with something. Came over to the scores table. I couldn't hear what the call was, but Gittenbacher has had to come out of the game. Humphreys has her 2. The Raider lead is 60-31, and the Raiders going to get called for the reach on the defensive end. That for the Raiders, just their 7th foul now of the third quarter. About the only thing that hasn't gone perfectly for the Raiders in the second half. A few fouls have piled up, and that's going to send Kaufman to the stripe. The right-hander lines it up and dribbles it off the front of the rim. Raiders pick up a big rebound underneath with Marcola. Run it out to the near side to Humphreys. Humphreys stops, gets to the right elbow. Far side corner. Higher for 3. It just rims off the front of the rim, and now a hold underneath is called against Jacksonville. Oh, no, it's going to go against Notre Dame. Is that going to be against Marcola? It is. So another foul against Marcola. She got the weak side rebound, but the official said she held in order to get to it. So the 3 from higher dribbled off the rim, and when it hung on the rim just a bit, that was what disrupted the timing and may have caused Marcola to hold. Back to the free throw line goes Jacksonville. This time it's James. She's got 10 on the night and is 2 for 2 from the stripe. James in and out on her. Big rebound on the near side by Marcola. So the Raiders with Humphreys now running the show. She's between the circles, 2-3 zone for Jacksonville. 25 seconds to go, third quarter. Near side wing for the Raiders with Ulrich. Goes down low for Marcola out of bounds. And it'll be another entry for Jacksonville off their own defensive baseline. Raiders going to pick up man-to-man full court. 23 seconds to go, third quarter. Put it in the hands of Kaufman, 20 seconds. She's guarded by Humphreys. Kaufman into the front court, tries to cross over Humphreys. Humphreys gets a half-hearted pick thrown by Strube. Now the runner won't go from Kaufman. Raiders have it with Marcola. Well, Marcola's picked up a couple of fouls, but she's also been patrolling the defensive glass for the Raiders. Marcola, middle of the lane, off the feed, can't get it, gets her own, throws it up. It just goes in and out at the end of the quarter. 60-31. Notre Dame just needs to complete the fourth quarter as they lead it by 29. Oh, they're going to get a foul on Jacksonville as the buzzer went, and it's going to be Marcola all alone on the free throw stripe. Both teams have been sent to their benches, and Marcola is going to have 2 free throws. 2 points for her in this second half. She misses the first free throw. Now she'll go for the second. Will the lead be 29 or 30? That's what it comes down to. Marcola pounds it down, the right-hander. Makes it with the swish. 1 of 2 for Marcola. The Raider lead is 30, 61-31. We go to the fourth quarter next on WTAD.
As a parent, I would recommend John Wood. There's a big misconception that you don't get the college experience until you actually go away to a school. Both of my daughters have thrived at John Wood. John Wood instructors and staff take a real serious interest. All of her classes transferred, no problem. John Wood gave both my kids a great start, a no-brainer for us. My name is Doug Porter, and I'm the proud father of 2 daughters who attended John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
It's a little unorthodox, but the quickness with which she releases it surprises opponents. 63-31. Raiders just going for a victory lap here in the fourth quarter. Rebound, Hugenberg down low. Obert has it. Jacksonville came out, led this game 9-4, and the Raiders just went on to dominate after that. A 23-4 second quarter set the tone for this game. Up and under for Ginnenbacher. Leaves the shot just short. Keene back into the game, has the rebound for Jacksonville. The senior playing her last game for the Jacksonville Lady Crimsons here this evening. She had a double-double last night in the win over Lamphere, 15 and 13, and she has 11 in the game tonight. Her layup, turnaround, no good. Raiders have it on the rebound. 63-31, Notre Dame, far side corner for Ginnenbacher. Gets it to the right elbow. Obert fouled by Fenner, and she'll go to the line. Fenner came right across the wrist as she was late getting to the jump shooter. Obert at the line tonight for the first time. Her 2 points in the first half is what she has for the evening. Lady Raiders are capable of great individual potency on the offensive end from players like Hugenberg and Ginnenbacher, but they can also spread it around. They've done a little bit of both tonight. Obert has 3. In addition to Ginnenbacher's 30 in this game, as Obert misses the second free throw. In addition to Ginnenbacher's 30, it's Hugenberg with 15, Marcola with 3, Obert with 3, Humphreys with 2. You see Arnold with 2 along the way as well. So they have a variety of scorers who have chipped in for what Ginnenbacher hasn't gotten done herself. Off the out-of-bounds pass on the near side. Raiders have it on the offensive end again. Hugenberg feeds it into the left baseline corner for Ginnenbacher. Now around the perimeter to Obert. Obert, far side, looking for help. Backs it out, gets it to Foley. Raiders just taking their time, looking for an open shot against this 2-3 zone of Jacksonville. Right elbow, Marcola steps it outside. Foley for three, just off to the left. Foley 0 for 3 from beyond the arc tonight, but her defense and pressure in the Raiders' ball press has been just too much for Jacksonville to handle. Leaning in is Keene, trying to draw the foul against Marcola. The officials aren't going to bail her out that time, and it's out of bounds to Notre Dame. 6 minutes to go. Lady Raiders just getting set for a Friday night regional crown rumble. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up here on WTAD, because it's not going to be your average regional final. I say that because of who the Raiders will likely be playing. They take on Springfield. That's the team that they had trouble with but did ultimately beat during the regular season. Runner is good from Foley. Foley now has 5 on the night, and the Raider lead is 66-31. The Raiders have history with both schools that they could play, Sacred Heart Griffin and Springfield. Springfield, though, ranked in the top 10. Notre Dame had to sneak by them 71-65 right after the new year. And that game was played here at Springfield, as Friday night's game will be as well. Raiders with the ball again on the left end of the floor. Mid-post for Hugenberg. Dumps it down low, Marcola. Now back to Hugenberg. Hugenberg doesn't look like she wants to take a contested shot, and that's just smart when you're up by 35. Raiders get it to the baseline. No good from Marcola. Rebound for Keene, and Keene going to keep it herself. Now to the near side. Throws it into the scorer's table as she overshot Kaufman, who wasn't really looking for the pass. 5 minutes to go in the game, and it's all QND. The Raiders have gone through the last 3 postseasons undefeated. 3 from the outside. That's good. 3 from Foley. Mackenzie Foley has 5 on the night, and the Raiders lead 69-31. The Raiders won their first 4 years ago. We'll backtrack some of that history as we get an opportunity. 3 out of the corner. Good for James of Jacksonville. That's the first bucket in the fourth quarter for Jacksonville. 3.5 minutes in. Baseline jumper is good from Obert. She's got 5 now, and the Raider lead is 71-34. Last year, the Raiders won the 3A title. 2 years ago, a 2A title, and 3 years ago, a 2A title. That gives them 3 in a row, including the first back-to-back titles in 2 different classes. Raiders in transition off the defensive rebound. Too far out in front of Mackenzie Foley. And the Raiders are going to get some more substitutes back into this game. Heyer, Humphreys, McGee all return. They'll play with Mackenzie Foley and Hannah Marcola. 4:10 to go. Raiders in control, 71-34. The Raiders, no team has won 4 state titles in a row, much less across 2 divisions. Runner by Keene won't go, gets her own rebound, won't go. Picked up nicely by McGee. Humphreys brings it across the timeline for Notre Dame. Backside for Heyer, mid-post for Marcola, down in the low post. She throws it back outside. Jumper for Foley won't go. Ball is loose, picked up by Kaufman of Jacksonville. Into the front court. Great job by McGee to get back. Runner won't go from Kaufman. She gets fouled, and she'll either go to the line or, yeah, she's going to go to the line and shoot 2. Free throw by Kaufman on the way. First one's good. She's been held after 9 points in the first quarter to just 2 here in the second half. As she is 2 of 4 from the stripe and 0 for 1 from beyond the arc. Kaufman ready with the next. It is short. Rebound goes to Keene. She goes back to Kaufman. That was a fortuitous rebound. Kaufman gets her pocket pick. Lady Raiders in transition. 4-on-1. Marcola backside. Humphreys layup good. Well, Marcola ran that break like a point guard. She found Humphreys on the backside. Humphreys got 4. And the Raiders looking good no matter what combination of young ladies are on the floor tonight. Dribble drive from Kaufman. Into the corner for James. Now to the post for Keene. Turnaround ball knocked away. On the run, he's Higher. Higher stops at the left elbow, goes backside. Mackenzie Foley underneath, gets fouled. She'll go to the line. Layup won't go. 3:03 to go in the game, and it's all Notre Dame up 73-35. 7 o'clock, the tip time Friday night. We'll have it for you here on WTAD. First free throw is around the rim and down. That took the same path around the rim that you would see a quarter take in a gravity well. Always my favorite exhibit at the Science Center, the gravity well. It's aged a lot better than the astronaut ice cream. I thought was great when I was young. Tasted it when I was a little older and thought this is awful. But the gravity well always plays. Second free throw coming up for Higher. In and out. Megan Mackenzie Foley. She had the first and the second. Second would not go. 74-35. Thornton down low for Jacksonville. Kicks it outside to James. Now back to Thornton inside, and the reach by Ulrich is going to put Thornton on the line. Mary Thorson. Thorson, no points in this game. At the stripe for the first time. The right-hander hits the first. 5'9" senior forward is Thorson. Raiders bring Higher and Mackenzie Foley out of the game. We'll get you those 5 on the floor as Thorson shoots. She hits the second, 74-37. It's going to be Humphreys with Ulrich, Arnold, Wenzing, and Wilkins for the Raiders. Humphreys at the point, far side for Arnold. Mid-post, Wenzing wants to look down low. She's fouled and will go to the line. Ashley Wenzing, a 6'1" sophomore, on the stripe. Wenzing looks for the first, won't go. Second free throw for the sophomore coming up. Raiders have 2 on the line to rebound. 1 back for defense and 1 standing in her shadow. Second free throw from Wenzing is good. Raiders lead 75-37. 2:30 to go in the game. Jacksonville into the front court. Humphreys picks up, leads this Raider man-to-man defense. Runner won't go for Kaufman. Rebound her own on the weak side. Half hook shot won't go. Wenzing with the rebound in traffic. Looks out the backside for Arnold. Arnold going to slow it down. No reason to rush now. Raiders are up comfortably. 75-34. Long pass down to the baseline for Wenzing. She touches it out of bounds, and it'll go back to Jacksonville. Jacksonville's coach Barlow going to bring in some of the end of her bench to reward her young ladies for their work this season. Maddie Allen comes into the game for the first time tonight. Fenner will be with her in the backcourt. Thorson stays in the front court along with Katie Schaefer. And running off the right side wing is Blessman. The 5 on the floor for Jacksonville. Far side for Schaefer. Straight away now, Jacksonville just working against this Raider man-to-man defense that's been swallowing them up all night long. Jumper off the weak side, no good. Thorson gets the rebound and is fouled on the backside. She made her first 2 trips to the line. Now she's looking to do the same here with 1:45 to go. You're just moments away from Fighting Illini basketball on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. Brian Barnhart and crew have the call. We'll get you out to the pregame show as soon as we're done. They're scheduled for a tip-off with Minnesota tonight just after 8 o'clock. That's coming up here, the second part of our doubleheader on WTAD. Thorson's first free throw is no good, and she hits the second. 3 of 4 on the night for the young lady. Raiders into the front court to the left wing for Ulrich. Skip pass to the far side. Raiders just looking for somewhere to go. Now out to the perimeter. Back to Ulrich near side. They've got Wenzing running the baseline. 3 from the far side is good. Oh, Doe didn't have a lot of room, but she teed it up and hit it. Doan hits that three. And the Raiders' lead is 78-38, up by 40. Into the near side corner. Thorson on the feed, turns around too hard off the backboard. Ulrich has the rebound. We're coming up on 1 minute to go here in Springfield. 78-38, all Raiders here tonight. Low post for Wenzing, kicks it to the mid-post. Turnaround jump shot is no good from Wilkins. Rebound picked up down low by Jacksonville. 50 seconds to go. Raiders going to win this one. Remember, they were down 9-4 midway through the first quarter. They put all this together afterward. Step in and steal by Cannell into the front court. Ball is loose. She got picked from the backside. Raiders have it. Comes loose to Ulrich. Layup is good. Make it 80 for the Lady Raiders as Ulrich hits it. She's got two. Doan's got the last three, and with 22 seconds to go, this one is over here tonight in Jacksonville. The Lady Raiders, as Jacksonville dribbling out the clock with Fenner on the near side, looking for some help. She's on the right wing, looking for Thorson inside. 10 seconds to go. Fenner's runner is no good. Wenzing has the rebound, and she looks for help. Raiders bring it into the front court. 3-2. Entry pass to Ulrich, and now Cannell, and out of bounds with .1. That'll do it here this evening. All that's left is for Jacksonville to inbound it, and this game is over. The Raiders win this one, going away tonight 80-38 on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. That was off of Jacksonville. Raiders have it. Time expires, and the semifinals are in the books. Notre Dame in a convincing 42-point margin over Jacksonville, who was feisty early, but the Raiders still alive for the four-peat as they'll advance to the regional title game coming up Friday night at 7. Our final, Notre Dame 80, Jacksonville 38 on Talk Radio 930 WTAD. The post-game show comes up next.
What's a podiatrist? A foot doctor. A foot doctor? I didn't know there was such a thing. There is. 25 years ago, I started out with a business plan and a dream. I went to 3 area banks. First Bankers Trust said it was great, and they asked me if I wanted more money than what I was asking for. But that was the start of my relationship with First Bankers Trust. My dreams have come true.
First Bankers Trust, your bank of dreams.
A funeral service is more than an end to life. It's a remembrance, a time to commemorate all that person meant to us.
My dad meant so much to us. It was hard to know where to begin.
Our caring staff will help you make it a fitting farewell with sensitivity, compassion, and respect. Hanson Spear Funeral Home, celebrating a life well lived.
Design, build, and transport products for the future right here at John Wood Community College. John Wood provides the training you need to get the good paying job you want. Employers are looking for highly skilled technical workers in manufacturing, electrical, construction, computer-aided design, truck driver training. Getting started is easier than you think. Call John Wood today or go online at jwcc.edu. John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
As a parent, I would recommend John Wood. There's a big misconception that you don't get the college experience until you actually go away to a school. Both of my daughters have thrived at John Wood. John Wood instructors and staff take a real serious interest. All of her classes transferred, no problem. John Wood gave both my kids a great start, a no-brainer for us. My name is Doug Porter, and I'm the proud father of 2 daughters who attended John Wood Community College. It's your college for your life.
In the past, everyone came to you and you did business at your own kitchen table. This is Financial Services Representative Michael Libman with MetLife in Quincy. I still make house calls. I'll confidentially ask you questions to help you make decisions about your life insurance, IRAs, long-term care insurance, investing, and estate planning. Call me and I'll come sit with you at your kitchen table.
MetLife offers financial services and life insurance. Call Michael Libman. He makes house calls.
Oh, that story looks good. Let me click that link. What? Locked? Pay site? Why do they link stories that I can't see? I'm not paying for that.
All of your online news at your fingertips is free on QuincyJournal.com. Quincy Journal also has a mobile site that fits your smartphone perfectly. And have you taken a peek at QJTV, QND Lady Raiders, Quincy High Blue Devils, QND Raiders games and more, live on QJTV? For the latest in politics, community news, and more, free every day, it's QuincyJournal.com.